three Ds. Have you ever heard of that term before? Right, so these three things are something that a dog could always struggle with, whether it's something that we try to do training wise or they have to deal with in the real world as well. Okay, so I want you to just stick with me with this idea because I always say I'm going to create something. I never do. I just keep going with the same idea. So just use your imagination. Okay, so what what I want to use is this line, this one, and this one. I want you to just imagine that this is like a DJ box, okay? So on here, you've got, you know, your little sliders, like if it's a DJ box, bass, treble, that kind of stuff, okay? So you've got three of them, and then up here, there's like, that's where the disc is, and that's spinning around. What the disc represents then is a dog's mind. So if it goes fast, that's where the dog's head is all over the place. Obviously, if it goes slow, they can probably think straight and listen to what you've got to say and stuff like that. Okay, so these three things that I was talking about, three Ds: distractions, distances, and duration. Okay, so idea is if we could keep all them to the lowest level, that's where your head spins a lot slower, and that's where we'll get what we want. If all these was to adjust and go up to the highest points, and that's when it goes too fast and we don't get what we want from you anymore. Okay, so the reason why then these are that idea we can adjust these and we can move them to where we want to move them to is because they don't all move at the same time. And us as a dog owner, we could control them things to get more of what we want from you. Does that make sense? Yeah. So just to further explain what I mean by that, if when we was outside then and let's say it's a quiet period, there's no cars going past, that's where she chills in it. So there's no other distractions around really at the moment when them cars wasn't there. So distractions level was down to the bottom. Distance, not really playing a part because nothing's there. And duration, again, it's not really playing a part in anything. So that's where we've seen that she could just go and chill out in the corner, have a lie down, just do her own thing. But as soon as the car turned up, distraction level, it shot up, didn't it? So we don't know in particular where it takes you to, but we know that it took you somewhere, okay, in that level there. But then when we think about distance, that car now is a certain distance away from us that you're going to put that to whichever point you are as well. And because we was right next to the road then, we're going to say that distance wise, we're going to shoot that right up because of how close it is. If them cars were further away, then this would be lower down the scale as well. Does that make sense? Yeah. And then duration, she didn't like duration's like a timer, okay? So as soon as you're in that situation, the timer turns on and it's ticking away. And obviously, if one goes up, any of them, then it kind of sort of contributes to the other one going up as well, if that makes sense. So time wise, as soon as the car turned up, she was up chasing on the fence line, yeah. So no time at all. But it's because of these other things, they was all high. And again, that's spinning really fast now. So like I said outside, because we didn't have a way, we didn't have anything attached to her, we couldn't have really just shouted like, May, stop doing that. And she would have stopped it. She would have kept chasing on the fence line. Okay. So where we go from here then as well is if we was, I know you asked the question about like if we was in a field or something like that. So if we was in that field across the road, because obviously that's quite a big field, and the road is still there and the cars will still pass by. But if we was at a bigger distance away from them cars, then we'd push that lower down the scale. What happens with the distance then is the further the further away we are, it means that this would stay down. The closer we are, it goes up. Yeah. Okay. So what ties in with that then is emotions. When it's only down the scale down here, you're not that emotional towards the trigger. If you're dead close and it's right on top of you, you get emotional quick about it. Okay. So where we go with that then, if we was in that field, like I said, across the road, and we have a bigger distance between us now, the actual distraction level wouldn't be as high up. It'd be further down because we've created a bigger gap between us and the trigger. Yeah. And then the time wise, because we was right on top of the trigger then, it was no time at all before she fired up and started chasing. But if we had the bigger distance where the distraction level is lower, she has more time now before she makes a decision, whether that's I'm going to still go and chase something, or she's able to think straight and go, actually, I'm not going to do that because that might come with a consequence if I choose the wrong option, or if I do it right, it'll be full of praise and reward as well. So value would get brought to me if I didn't choose to do it. But what we've allowed then is we put her in a different situation where she was capable of having a choice. When we was outside then, she didn't, it wasn't even a thought in her head. The situation, she just got put in it quick and she didn't have time to think about it. All she did was act on it straight away. Yeah. So using these 3Ds and taking that into the real world with us, if we think about how we might be able to adjust them to keep this spinning slower, like I said, which is your head, if I can put your head in a better place, you'll listen a lot more and you probably won't make as many bad choices as you might already make. You'll make a lot more like better ones. The more you're making better choices, the more I can reward you for making better choices. So then, like over time, with this, if this was like a model that you were sticking to, over time, if you created this sort of, you're gonna get your head on the camera now. If you're gonna create this sort of like ignorance, if you want, at a bigger distance, or this value in us on our side of the lead rather than what's over there, like the cars she wants to chase them. If we're able to do that or at a bigger distance, then what we can do over time is get a little bit closer and a bit closer and a bit closer again. Yeah, because then we're building that up in stages then, rather than just going, let's do it at a really big distance and then let's just throw you in the deep end. Like a kid at a swimming, when they first go to a swimming lesson, they're in the shallow end, full of armbands, floats, and everything. It takes them a good while to be able to have the confidence to swim deep end right down to the bottom with no armbands, etc. Same, that could work for same like a dog as well. We could start at a bigger distance away and then work towards getting there as well. But what we already seen outside from what we did in terms of the walking around the triggers as well, when we selected the right piece of equipment for us, we got to grip with all of this straight away because we was communicating clearer to you. When it was lead flat collar, we didn't use me as well. We didn't manage them that well because we was right in the deep end. And again, we've not really taught you how to swim yet either, but you was right in the deep end. Same way, if we go for a walk and we're at the side of the road, you're in the deep end as well. So something, I'm going to have my drink as well now. Something needs to work as well, because the idea of what I just said then about the model being let's start further away and then getting closer, that can potentially take a long time. And I'm not saying we rush training, but sometimes, especially stuff like cars at the side of the road, you want to chase them, it's a dangerous thing. You could pull us out into the road, and that's dangerous for everyone involved, us, dog, car, person in the car, other pedestrians, etc. So I need something to work quicker as well when it comes to something like that. Not saying I will ignore this. I could still work on that. But I need something that also works for me. So I need something that works for me now as well. Yeah. Like what we did outside. Communication through the lead better for a different piece of equipment, put you in a different mindset where you wasn't bothered about the triggers then. All you was bothered about doing was following me around. And I was the valuable thing, not chasing the cars as well in that moment. So just based off that model then, and then how that compares to outside, any questions on that at all? Or does that make sense to you? Yeah.